What's up guys, it's Max and this is Alliance War number 5 for season 24. Now this is my first time taking this path, which is number 3, and for the most part I don't switch paths. So if it's path 3, it's path 3 all the way. So whatever the path is that we're doing for this season, and that's kind of how it's going to be. And I've never taken this path, so I'm actually really curious to know what's involved. This is my first time and I'm glad I took this path because now I know this is an easy path, guys. This is easy. So I'm excited to show the fights. So we're gonna jump right into them. So the team that I brought was Human Torch, Omega Red, and Magneto. So one of the reasons I brought Human Torch was for this Longshot, just to make my life a little bit easier. Doesn't seem like a complicated node. I was just, one thing too as well I wanted to point out, I took off suicides before this fight. So that's one thing I didn't do last war, which I kind of want to keep reminding myself, and one of the areas I want to improve on is just kind of like the timing of taking them off and then putting them on. So as you can tell, he's just like Longshot's just melting away. The only thing I know of is to charge your phone, guys. Be careful with that. When it comes to AW, I forgot about that little incident that I had. Is definitely charge your phone. Don't be at the 10 or 20%. Those are emergency notifications that will pop off even if you have do not disturb. So definitely charge your phone. But Human Torch melts Longshot just easily. The only thing I was going to say is you got to be careful with is the special 2 that I know that definitely does tons of damage. Now here we go into Venom the Duck. So here he's a rank 2. Who do I go with? I don't have suicide, so I don't bring Omega Red. I know for sure. I think this is the fight that I go in with Magneto as well. This is my first Magneto fight, I believe. Yes. Okay, so here we go with Magneto. I think I just keep it simple. Parry. I did have boost on, I want to say. I want to believe I did have the boost on. I did remember to do that because I had some kind of coming to expiration. So I threw some on for these fights, especially knowing that I didn't have my suicides on when it comes to an extra boost of damage. And one of the reasons, again, I don't have them on is because I want to launch a couple of specials. Now, one thing about Venom the Duck is his special 1 is easy to evade. Easy. I think for the most part I don't have a complication or difficulties with him doing that. His special 2 I don't want to say I'm 100% master of it, but I don't want to risk it. And so I just keep him at special 1s. Pretty much the fight only becomes long just because of the fact that I don't want to push him to special 2 for the most part, and I just want to keep him at a special 1. Don't care for the most part. I know every time he does a heavy and he's got that buff active, he's basically locking in one of his abilities, so I don't care for that. Hopefully I don't die, so my expectations here is not to die. So obviously if we start the fight all over and he locked in regen and power gain and all kinds of other buffs, those are being triggered immediately. So here's his regen. He's pretty much almost dead. Almost got the KO here, and just easy fight, long fight of course, because we're like 50 something hits in, 57, and he's still not down. I could have just easily launched the special there. Even at a block hit he would have been KO, but wait for the opening, launch the special, and he's done. So these are the moments you're waiting for. Mistakes. So I'm calling it out before it happens. So okay, this fight I did become a little impatient. I didn't have the best champions. I thought to myself, said, hey, you know what, Magneto might be the option. Kept going back and forth and reading the node. Maybe have I done this fight? I don't recall doing this fight ever, or being Captain Marvel movie in this fight, in this node. I really don't know what to expect when it comes to her. I think it's just, for the most part, I don't see anything that's going to cause his fight with that special character in there to be difficult. So I go in basically with Magneto, and we're going to see this right now. So here we go with the Magneto using into the fight, and my ideas of taking this fight and what I envisioned it happening was that I was gonna go for that exact same thing what I just did right there, is a parry heavy and special 1s. I thought I was gonna be able to make it to even a special 2 to do just maximum damage, but one thing going into this fight I've noticed, I was getting power drained left and right, which is part of the node. And after rereading the node again, you know how it is, I forget everything I read within seconds, and I was like, why can't I get myself for a power, to launch a special? Basically this whole time I can't launch a special. I get clipped with a special one, which throws my whole game set completely off. I still have it under control for the most part there. The shock damage that I'm taking, it's not that big. It's really not. I think if I wouldn't have taken that special one hit right there earlier, I would have been perfectly fine. I took a lot of damage off of that on top of it dealing shock, and I held onto a heavy for way too long. So a couple of mistakes made, definitely, and I shouldn't have been taking this fight. I think I should have left that fight for someone else, but lesson learned. Magneto's dead. There we go. Ooh, okay, so we're doing this one live. Let's just jump right in there. And for this specific node, I brought in, because he's gonna have that armor up, I brought in Omega Red. Let's see how it goes. We're gonna go for a couple of parries, heavy situation, and hopefully proc some bleeds. There you go. Go another heavy. Push him to special 2. Heavy. And just... Yep. Parry heavy. And he's down, just like that. So, attack, full attack bonus. That was an easy fight, I gotta say. I think that's been, this lane, number 3, has been one of my easiest lanes. But we won't give it a full review until we're fully done. So here is my last energy. We're gonna pop Flame on. Okay, so what's inside this guy? Special damage increase based on armor. Armor up abilities is more effective. Different blocks and attack. They activate armor up buff. Okay, so make sure we don't hit into his block. I think that is the game plan. So let's go. Got a little heavy action there. And he's down. Ooh, really easy fights there. Again, man, lane 3, I think this is gonna be my go-to lane. I don't know, it's looking like it. We don't have enough energy to do the last fight, but alright guys, so this is another fight that I go in with Human Torch, and I thought to myself, you know what, this should be fairly easy, right? It's Human Torch, rank 3. One thing I didn't realize, and I made a mistake here, I'm gonna point it out if you haven't noticed it, is yeah, you can do these fights with running suicides. I at the moment only had poison on. I didn't have any bleed on, which it doesn't make sense because I need to launch specials, and I couldn't. The other reason why I couldn't is because of the power I couldn't get. So it kept getting drained on power, which is kind of a trend this war. Plus, there's something that happens here shortly, and that a big special 2 take lots of damage on this special 2, blocks damage, which is not big of a deal, but it definitely drains me and like tears me apart when it comes to my health. Overall though, the fight's still going fairly well. I still have it somewhat under control when it comes to the incinerates I'm applying. I am taking quite a damage. I do evade that special 2, but we parry, go for a little to 4% believe, so we pretty much got the fight in the bag, even though we lost a lot of health there.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
We missed, I don't know, it should have been a double parry. I parried once and I was so confident thinking that I got the fight in the bag. Well, no, I didn't. So we go in there with Omega Red to finish it off. And it's not bad. It's just a couple of hits and basically he's dead. That's what he was. And I think if I would have kept the Human Torch, maybe not have suicides on. I think I didn't have any boost on as well. So man, that's 2 strikes right there again with this no boost and no suicides. So a few things I forget. I've been forgetting to boost. So here we go into the 2 mini boss island fights. Those are going to be interesting. This is when I finally say, hey, gotta turn on the boost, because these are big, serious fights. So when you go against this Nick Fury, dude, for the most part, I hated fighting Nick Fury. Almost every single time I fought this guy, it doesn't go well. But the fact that I can parry him is such a huge advantage, and I can do some like degen damage with Omega Red. That's why, man, this guy, I love that character. So that's one of my favorite champions. Now here, one thing about his special one, Unblockable. For the longest, I couldn't get this through my head, and I'm not sure if you're the same way, but I would always try to evade everything of special one. I know some people can evade it. I'm just not that type of player that I can and that talented at evading special ones like that. But so now I know, hey, all you gotta do is evade that little hook and you can block the rest. Took me a while, took me a couple of deaths when Nick Fury first came out to really get that through my brain, saying, hey, you don't have to go in and try to evade that part of it. So knowing that and made the fact that I can go into this fight a lot easier. You know, it's a more easier fight. As you can see here, you'll see it just kind of go down pretty smooth for the entire fight. It's just a smooth fight, fairly easy. Idea is definitely to push him to special 2. Main reason why is because of the you don't take any block damage. So that was my main idea, is just keep him or push him to special 2 the entire time. And that's kind of how it somewhat goes down the entire fight, which it was fairly good. As you can see here, he's finally down to basically 0%, and of course he's gonna get his Fury, but as long as you don't touch him, and I did land a heavy there, perfect timing. I mean, I still didn't have enough degens on him, but all I needed to do at this point is get close to him. A couple of block hits, didn't take much damage. I was actually surprised. I did keep in mind to not launch out, of course, the same specials back to back. Very concerning there. He goes unblockable. Just do a couple of intercepts into him. Again, scared of the fact that he is fully unblockable, so I'm trying to keep him in the corner, making sure he doesn't go and attack me. But overall, good fight for me. I felt good. I felt good to take that guy down, especially after having 2 deaths this war. But let's jump into fight number 2. So fight number 2, we got a Kingpin. So he's been buffed, and he is on this node. So definitely believe the power gain is one thing to be concerned about. His special 2, I do not, like I mentioned earlier, there's certain champions you can evade specials, certain champions you cannot. This guy, special 2, it's just up until this day I can't evade it, so we're not even going to try to get him to special 2. I was a little concerned about his power gain to see how bad it was going to be. He's melting. Honestly, this fight, he's melting. My rank 5 Omega Red is SIG 200, so he's definitely causing some damage. Now I do go ahead and slip there, and I was extremely close at tanking the fight. As you saw there, he was just like centimeters away from getting himself a special 2. His power gain is controllable. One thing I want to just point out, I don't know if this guy was a rank 1 or rank 2. I felt like a rank 1. I know if this was a longer fight, obviously there's more room for mistakes, meaning more health on this guy, but overall he does go down easily, just making sure that he just launches that special 1. But guys, yeah, this is my war. 2 deaths. This specific war, but I did take a couple of more fights, which is I'm really happy because I get more practice and more hands-on, get to know the nodes a little bit more. Obviously we'll see different champions as we face different opponents, but overall I'm happy with my turnout. Hope you guys enjoy. Hit like, subscribe, and hopefully I'm really hoping to bring more Alliance War footage here for you guys, so definitely stay tuned. See you guys in the next video.